Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest. And today I'm checking out from Essence the Magic Filter Glow Booster. Retails for $5.99 for 0.47 fluid ounces of product. So that's about 12 bucks an ounce. Still drugstore pricing, but interesting choice there to make a half-ounce size pump bottle. It comes in 7 different shades. I've got the lightest shade, which is light 10, described as champagne pearl, clean according to Ulta, cruelty-free vegan. Essence Magic Filter Glow Booster perfects your complexion with a glowy finish. Worn as foundation, under makeup, or worn alone, its light coverage conceals impurities and redness, perfect for crafting your favorite makeup look or embracing a natural glow. This currently gets 3.4 out of 5 stars with 59 reviews on Ulta's website. Impurities? Impurities on your face? I think they meant imperfections? Impurities? You don't conceal impurities, you clean them. Like, you purify them. Like, I'm just a weird choice of words. Okay, let's take a look at shade 10, the lightest shade, swatched against a few others in my collection. Swatch time. First up is today's foundation from Essence, the Magic Filter Glow Booster in the lightest shade 10 Light. Second, I've got from Estee Lauder, the Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. Third up is MAC Studio Sculpt in NW15. And last I've got from Wet n Wild, the Tinted Hydrator in Fair. I've already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 50-year-old face. I have primed with my Geek Out of Water Blue Tansy Primer. Also got some of my Geek Out of Water Smoothing Lip Balm. Soothing Lip Balm, not the Smoothing Lip Treatment, because that's in the other room, and your girl is not in the mood to get up and go get it. Lip Balm. Lips are just a little dry because I've been wearing my CoverGirl Velvet Pigments and they dry me out a little bit, so I just give my lips a little extra love. Hold on, I need some caffeine. Also, why am I wearing a hoodie at the end of May? Yeah, because we're going to be lucky to hit 60 degrees out. Was it 86 degrees a couple days ago? Yes, it was. This weather in Virginia this year is so bizarre. Anyway, foundation time. Well, let's take a look at the consistency on this one. I know, I'm pumping it from scratch. I know you already saw the swatches, but I don't film those until the end of the video. So you saw them already, but this is my first time pumping this out as I film. Ooh, she thick. She thick, girl. She thick. All right. Do you see my camera's focusing on my cup over here? That was so weird. Why? Now, I do have a damp sponge for one side of my face. I have my IT Cosmetics 115 brush. For the other side, I have a feeling I'm going to need more product than this, but we'll find out. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Now, if this is a shade match for me, being the lightest shade kind of means there's going to be a lot of people more pale than I am that this will not work for, because I'm not the palest of the pale. I'm usually the mid to darker side of fair, or the very, very lightest side of light, depending how many shades a brand has in their arsenal. This one only has 7 shades. I feel like we might be heading back into the land of brands making fewer and fewer shades. I'm guessing partially due to costs and economy issues, but 7 shades, while they do go pretty light to dark, if this is the lightest and it does seem to match me, if you're more fair than I am, you're not gonna really have a match in this, unless you want to wear it really sheer. Then you'll have a little more wiggle room. I just stabbed myself in the forehead with my fingernail. Do you guys do that? Like, do you do such clumsy things to yourselves? I do it all the time. All right, there's no coverage with the sponge at all. It does have a glow to it. You know, it has, I am looking glowier, dewier, shinier on this side of my face than this side of my face. But I would say that was no coverage with the sponge. I literally cannot see any coverage. So let's try the brush side. Yeah, I'm going to need just a little bit more. I did one more pump. I feel like maybe I didn't pump the pump all the way down in my initial pumps, maybe. This seems to have, as I spread it with my fingertips, a sort of a gel-like texture. So maybe that is part of why there's not a whole lot of coverage. They said you can build it up a little bit. I'm hoping for light. I'm hoping for light coverage. Because they said sheer if you apply with fingertips. Which that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because fingertips absorb the least amount of product. Your brush absorbs a little bit, your sponge absorbs a bit more, but your fingertips really aren't going to absorb any product, so you would think you'd get the highest coverage using your fingertips. That is true with most products. Alright, coverage-wise, there's pretty much none. Yeah, this is not a coverage product. I'm not even sure why they bothered with shades because I don't see any coverage. I don't see any coverage, like not even light coverage. I don't see any, like, look, you can still see the redness of where I stabbed myself in the forehead with my fingers. I'll try building it up. We're gonna use, should we use fingertips? Just so we don't lose any product into any device? Let's... Yeah, it is sort of a gel texture. Do you see how it spreads out as a... I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on camera. This is really just a highlighter. This is a glazed donut situation. Not... how do I describe this in a... It's not in a bad way. You know, I've tried some things that were straight up glazed donut and just looked awful because they had like a smear of glaze. This doesn't have, it doesn't have a color tint or a white tint or any kind of color tint to the glaze. It's more just shiny, like it's clear glaze. I hesitate to even try any bit more because I feel like it's just going to make me more shiny without covering anything, but let's get the full Monty here and just try what we can. Yeah, this is just making me look shiny. Shiny in a way that if you want to look very dewy, it is doing that. It's not a bad shiny, but it's not coverage, I don't think at all. Like, there's no redness correction on my chin or my nose or my forehead. There's no coverage of my sunspots. There's no coverage of my blue blood vessel right here. Like, none. There is a sheen, a dewy, glowy sheen to my entire face now. But there's no coverage. Since we've established that there's no coverage to this thing, I'm going to use a little bit of concealer. Which, do I want my lighter or my darker? I love the new It Cosmetics Radiant Concealer. But I can't tell which is which. I need Sherlock to help me. Okay, the light one's on the left. My left. Alright, this is the light. Light is the darker of the two I have. I have Fair Cool and I have Light. Let's just use a little bit of concealer in the concealer-related areas. And I'm going to take a little bit more of the essence and just sort of blend it in with some of my concealer. I just need a little bit of coverage. Just a little bit. Alright, let's see what we can do with this. I'm going to use my little It Cosmetics brush. What is this number? I know you're going to ask me, so I might as well look and tell you now. Oh, I can't read it. They make them silver on gray, which is like so hard to read. Do they not know the average age of their customers? 148 is this brush. It Cosmetics, I can't read your writing on your brushes. I am losing the ability to read without reading glasses. I'm not completely there yet, but I can't read like makeup boxes or like any tiny print. I just can't read it anymore unless I have readers or trusty Sherlock. Yeah, this is helping. I just need a little bit of coverage, y'all. I just need a little bit. The redness on my chin, my blue blood vessel, my sunspots over here, and today, since I stabbed myself in the forehead, that little spot on my forehead. Now, to make sure I don't lose the glow, I'm going to take what's left and just kind of go over those few spots to kind of blend it together. Yes. Okay. Okay. Here we go. This will be a doable face for the day. Let me get a good look up close. I will say, on the upside, because it's pretty invisible coverage, it's not, like I really can't see product on my face, which is good. I don't think we'll end up with any... If anything moves around, I don't think we'll be able to see it. I'll put it that way. Because usually when foundation settles into your wrinkles or your fine lines or any, pores, etc., it's settling, and what you see is the color of the foundation. Well, since this really doesn't have visible color to it, it's not a thick enough coverage to see it. I don't think we'll be able to see it if it settles. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Not saying it will settle. We will find out. This is very dewy. It's it's let's zoom in. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. Because it's so dewy, I do feel like it's accentuating pores just a little bit because the reflect there's nothing in the product to smooth them out. So the reflect is kind of just making them visually obvious, but it's doing that a little bit to texture. Not so much. I would say texture, it's just not affecting too much one way or the other. It's not helping it. It's not hurting it. Nose looks fine. Nothing is caking up. Nothing's bunching up. Nothing. The product's really not visible except for the fact that I feel like there is a dewy sheen to my skin. Now that dewy sheen is a nice sort of hydrated look, but it's pronounced. I mean, I am reflecting light, bouncing light right back into the camera at you guys. I think you can kind of tell on any of the high points on my face. It's very much showing back at you. We'll see. I'm gonna predict, not that this would affect the grade of the product, because if it does what it says it's going to do, it's supposed to be glowy, and they said that up front, like, then that's fine. If it meets its claims, then we'll be good. I'm not typically going to wear a product with no coverage that just makes me look dewy. That's probably not in my wheelhouse. Could be in your wheelhouse. I'll wear it today. We will find out how it goes. We'll see how everything comes together. We'll see how it wears, if it changes at all throughout the day. So let's check the time. I've lunched with a couple of very good friends of mine, one that's in from out of town today. I'm very excited. And I have to leave in 30 minutes. So let me put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. It's 11:20. 11:21? I'll be right back. Back with the Essence Magic Filter. Did the old Nick Chapman inspired look again. I know, I will get back to my regular eyeshadows, but this whole like neutral all matte thing has just had me in a chokehold for like a month, probably longer now. Whenever that Nick Chapman video came out with invisible makeup, I've been loving it. I've been loving it. So when I applied my bronzer and blush, the powder taking away some of the glare of the reflect from the dewiness made my texture look smoother. But if you're going to powder over this, then kind of what's the point? If you're killing the glow for the purpose of smoothing things out, I don't know. This one might just be one of those that's made for younger people or people that don't have fine lines or wrinkles or texture or any sort of redness or imperfections to cover up. Maybe it's covering up my impurities instead. I don't know. I am pretty impure, I will say. Maybe that's what it's doing. So, yeah. On the rest of my face, what's up, beauty? I'm like, blank. What's up, beauty? Cheek Terre, shade deep, super light hand because I'm wearing very minimal foundation. Back to my old favorite, Lawless Juicy Watermelon Blush. It's like, it's my go-to. It always works. It's wonderful. Brows are the refi. I give up. I don't know how to say this. And even when I look it up, I can't remember the right answer. So whatever this is, my new favorite brow product. My eyes, Natasha Denona, I Need a Nude palette. I use the shade Stone as I have been, but I also deepened it a little bit with the shade Tender. And I have a little bit of the fair shade, the lightest shade on my inner lid. My liner is the Physicians Formula. How do I not remember the name of this thing? You know, the one that's been popular for like a decade now? Eye Booster. That's it. That's the liquid liner. And then my mascara is the L'Oreal Paradise Big Deal. My lip is Lawless Forget the Filler Gloss, my favorite plumping gloss of life. In my favorite flavor, cherry vanilla. It's so good. Strawberry ones are running a close second, but cherry's always going to be my favorite. Cherry's the best. Cherry's my favorite. All right, that's everything that's on my face. Gonna go to the post office, drop off a couple orders. Gonna go to lunch with my friends. And we're going to this place called Mashita in Harrisonburg. It's Korean-inspired food, and they have... I just call it cloud bread. I don't know what the real name of it is, but it's this bread that is just a fluffy cloud. And I look forward to it with like my entire soul. It's so delicious. Anyway, if you find any flakes of hair on my face, it's because I just decided to trim my bangs while I was sitting here because, I don't know, I did a terrible job. I should have done it in the mirror in the bathroom. I don't really care. They grow so fast it doesn't matter. I'll fix them later. And yeah, so that's the plan. We're supposed to get some rain this afternoon. I'm looking out my window right here. Clouds are coming in, so I will try and get you a daylight check-in. It might be a cloud light check-in, but that goes well with cloud bread, so that's okay. And then I'll come back tonight, give you guys my final thoughts. Hey guys, it's about 3:17 p.m. downtown Harrisonburg. Here we go. Daylight check-in. There's no coverage to really shade match, but I feel like the glow is gone. Do you see any glow? I don't know. Maybe I'm just not seeing it on my screen. I'll have to look back at the video footage, but if the glow is gone, then what was the point? That's what it had going for it. There you go. I don't know about this one. Ooh, I'm starting to get my drag lines. That usually means my skin's getting dehydrated. My forehead lines seem fairly pronounced as well. I'm surprised I don't have 11s, because I do this a lot. But I don't really have 11s. I don't know, though. What do you think? I'll be back tonight. We'll see. 9:52 p.m. Let's take a look at how the Essence Magic Filter Glow Booster held up. Well, is held up the right word? No coverage, so we can't really look at that. Let's look at the glow because, hello, Ziva. That has faded. And it faded back at the check-in, so that's kind of the point, because if it's not given coverage, then it better at least give some glow, being a glow booster. Oddly, when I zoom in, do pay attention to sort of the bridge, the sides of the bridge of my nose here-ish, because that remember when I said that it didn't make a sheen that looked like any kind of color? It's almost like a gold sheen left behind, just there, but not a glow, like product left over. It has lost most of its glow. There's still a little reflect in that area, but let's just zoom in so you can get a look at this. We can't judge coverage, so although I do see some product around my nostrils, sort of caked on the dry skin there. It caked up a little bit on my chin. It's sunk just the tiniest bit into my deepest chin lines. It is kind of gathered on the back of my cheek on my nose ring side as well. Yeah, so now I can see product on my face. It kind of froze my forehead lines into place, and I see a little bit of that leftover gold sheen there too. So that's not fantastic. If I had to give a grade to the Essence Magic Filter Glow Booster, I'm going to give it a D because it was glowy for a little while, didn't last very long, didn't hold up very well, didn't give any coverage, even though they do claim you can get a little coverage out of it. So it's not a complete fail, but yeah, if you want to look a little dewy for, you know, with no change to your complexion for a few hours, 3 hours maybe. But yeah, going with a D. That's where I'm at. Right, Ziva? There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. If you like foundation reviews, if you had fun with this one, give me a thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments. Too many words. What would you like to see next? I keep a running list. I buy stuff whenever I can. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.